Hallo und willkommen zurück zu Avadon 3. Wir befinden uns in Avadon und werden mal hier weiter erkunden und mal schauen, ob wir dieses Construct-Problem beheben können. Da haben wir jetzt einen Schmied, eine Wiese. Was ist das? Katapultgedöns? Keine Ahnung, was eine Wiese ist. Smith Duman. This chamber is a small, crowded smithy. The air is hot and heavy with ash. Multiple chimneys suck the smoke out of the fortress to keep it from wafting down the halls. There's a lone smith manning the forge. He's a short, stocky man with a dark complexion. You suspect that he is from the Qua. He grimaces as you enter. Nah. A few and full of demands, no doubt. I'm Smith Duman. He reaches out to shake your hand. As he does, his glove pulls away from his hand, revealing that it has been branded with a T. Greetings, blacksmith. I am Kordanor, Hand of Avadon, fresh from the field. Sure, I recognize the look. I bet you have amazing dreams about all the enchanted artifacts I'm going to just hand you. Sorry to disappoint, I am all out. I can trade with you though, it's how Avadon gets a lot of what it needs. Just don't take up a lot of time. I can help you with your scarabs if needed. Be polite though, I'm busy. What sort of things do you do for Avadon? In peaceful, quiet times I craft scarabs and other fine goods. Now, with the war going on and all of the supplies coming in, I've been reduced to a mere quartermaster. Protoss tasked me to get weapons and armor where they need to go. You are getting more supplies now? Yes, finally. They came with Protoss. When we let Hanva's council kick Redbeard out and install Protoss in charge, they paid us off with piles of equipment. We need it, but it feels dirty to use it. Redbeard is still by law the true keeper. If you feel that way, you should speak up. You might want to be quiet about that. Duman nods. I should. Protoss allows us a little freedom to speak. But just a little. He's more merciful than Redbeard at least. What's the T? I received it in the Qua. When I was young, it stands for thief. I was poor and I stole, and the Stone Code decided my punishment. The next punishment was a loss of the hand. I gave up on crime and apprenticed myself to a blacksmith instead. Are you the finest smith working for Avadon? I don't know anymore. Our finest crafter is Nicodemus. He's old and mad, but he's amazing. When he left, he was loyal to Redbeard and he wasn't quiet about it. He wasn't quiet about it. He is out there somewhere. If he still serves Avadon, he is better than me. Oh, I know him. He is in Camp Nightshade. Duman nods. I am glad he is well. I will not tell Protoss where Nicodemus is. The old man deserves to spend his waning years making what he wants. I have another question. Smith Duman continues to work in the smithy. He divides his time between repairing blades and plate armor and inventorying the new crates of material that arrive at Avadon every day. He says, "What else do you need? Make it quick." You said that you work with scarabs? Yes, they are powerful magic unique of Avadon. I craft them, and the eyes enchant them. I'm one of a small handful of people who can do the work. Alas, I have little time for it now. I need to get some apprentices. He tilts his hand to the side. Something about you strikes him as odd. Are they hard to make? Yes, very much so. I don't care to brag, but what I can do is amazing. Why can only servants of Avadon use scarabs? It's a secret. It is part of the spells bound on the scarabs. Their magic only comes forth for those loyal to the keeper. None but Avadon know the secret of their creation. Deles would sacrifice 10,000 soldiers for the knowledge. You are looking at me strangely. Excuse me, but he reaches out and touches your chest. Fascinating. I can't place a scarab on you. You could do it yourself, perhaps, but not in Avadon. What does that mean? The scarabs demand a loyalty to the keeper, but there are two keepers. They will accept you when you are on land claimed by the keeper you follow. Redbeard Redbeard. You won't be able to wear and remove them here. Truly fascinating. I wish Nicodemus was here. This would amuse him greatly. I have another question. Smith Duman continues to work in the smithy. He divides his time between repairing blades and plate armor and inventorying the new crates of material. You know, that's unique. Neat. I want to trade with you. Of course. It's the rule of Avadon. Hands must pay their way. We get our treasures and power from the villains we destroy. Tell me if you want to see my wares. Let me see your stock. Scarab of Voids. Naja. Spiny. Spine-Shield brauchen wir auch nicht. Ne, da ist nichts. Habe ich die in meiner Liste aufgenommen? Inkantor und... ja, habe ich. Ja, es ist nichts, was so super toll ist. That's all I'd like to sell. Plim, 11.000. That's all I need. Do me knots. Then I'll get back to my work. Safe travels, Herr Kordanor. Ja, da können wir jetzt Sachen combinen, aber ja, einen gescheiteren Helm könnte ich mal brauchen. Ja, naja. Die Kohle können wir mitnehmen. Ja, aber anscheinend hatte das jetzt nichts mit den Constructs zu tun. Gucken, ob hier unten... Ne, da ist niemand. Gucken, was in der Quest steht. Something in the west wing of the storeroom is disrupting the constructs. Find it. Something in the west wing. Ah, jetzt hier in der Kiste wahrscheinlich. This large, this large box is full of debris. It looks like the storeroom workers have spent years throwing anything broken, old, or weird in here. Rusty tools, alchemical equipment of obscure purpose, useless trinkets. Remembering the odd behavior of the constructs outside, you root through the mess. Under a cracked shield, you find a rock. It looks entirely unexceptional. You are alert enough, however, to pick up the faint whiff of malevolent magic coming off of it. When you pick it up, you shiver and feel odd. It's a weird artifact. Maybe it's what has been interfering with the constructs. Hard Kellen would want to know about it. You pocket it. Dann gerade aufschreiben. So. I found this weird stone in the storeroom. Show it. You hold out the stone, ignoring the icy chill in your arm when you touch it. Kellen leans toward it. Then she backs away. I'm no expert, but I know malevolent magic when I see it. Things like that sometimes get looted, created up, and sent here from the front. It should be destroyed, I think. Best curse. Go talk to Smith Duman. I think he can help you. Nothing else to discuss. And you're free to go about your business. Ja. I found this weird stone in the storeroom. Show it. Moment. Smith Diamond continues to work in the smithy. He divides his time between repairing blades and plate armor and inventorying the new crates. Okay. Show it. You hold out the stone, ignoring the icy chill in your arm when you touch it. Diamond looks at it, then jumps away. How did that thing get into Avadon? It needs to be destroyed. He leaves the room for a minute. As he returns, the east gate opens up. The workshop is to the east. Take that thing down the stairs to the main forge and smash it on the anvil. I don't know how magic like that got here, but we need to be rid of it. What sort of things do you do? No, man. Ja, da ist nix. Okay. Das ist offen. Ja, ich erinnere mich hier gewesen zu sein in den vorherigen Spielen. Flip, 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 flip. Wahrscheinlich das andere. So, runter. Ah, da sind die Triche. Kohle, Kohle, Kohle. Das ist weiterhin zu. Da braucht man halt immer so Erlaubnisstufen normalerweise, damit die Türen aufgehen. Aha. Eine Schatzkammer. Avadon is built on top of a natural fumarole, providing a constant source of heat in these icy mountains. You are at one of its vents. A forge has been built here to make advantage of the huge amount of energy available. You look through the mists to the north. An anvil is barely visible on a stone outcropping surrounded by boiling mud. Verkaufen. Titan Steel Razor Disc. Braucht man 10 Dexterity für. Okay. Sollte ich wohl mal Dexterity steigern. Wobei wir das sowieso jetzt... Ein bisschen absurd, dass Dexterity mein niedrigster Wert ist. Aber der sollte sowieso jetzt... bald vermutlich passiv steigen, wenn das mein niedrigster Wert ist. Weil in Stärke habe ich noch nie selber gesteigert. Und wenn der schon 10 erreicht hat, ich glaube, die verteilen sich gleichmäßig. Aha. A Rune Stone of Purity. Increases your Dexterity. Okay, schreibe ich mir auch mal auf. Rune Stone of Purity. Increases Dexterity. Ups. So. Aha. This is a huge steel anvil used to craft some of the most powerful and precious artifacts used by Avadon. Scrying crystal stones for blessing, fortifications, even arms and armor. All are made here. It would be easy to put the cursed stone on the anvil and smash it. Smash the stone. With great relief, you put the evil enchanted rock on the anvil. You take a moment to marvel at how mundane the object looks. You wonder how it got here, who sent it, and what its intended purpose was. Then you smash it to bits. A bit of mist rises into the air and disappears. You hear a moaning sound. That's all. At first, just as you are congratulating yourself for getting lucky, you hear snarling and hissing in the mist of the south. The spell placed on the rock was set off after all. Hopefully, you will survive it. Aha. Hallo. Gehen wir mal ein bisschen zurück, damit die Turrets den Schaden nehmen. Phew. Okay, der nächste bitte. Und der nächste. Mhm. Die sind nicht die cleversten. Der tut nichts. Na gut. Das war jetzt mal ein bisschen einfach, weil die KI ein bisschen dumm war. Da liegt auch noch Kohle, die können wir sicherlich auch noch mitnehmen und verkaufen. Ja. Geben wir das erstmal ab. Hard Callan continues to tirelessly roam the halls of Avadon, looking for anyone who seems the least bit idle and putting them to work. There are countless boxes of supplies to haul around. What else do you need? I think I fixed your construction problem. Hard Callan says, really? What makes you think so? You tell her about the stone. Well, I think that explains it. Sometimes hostile magic gets mailed to us, just one of the risks of our position. An assistant brings you a pouch of coins and a scarab. For you, for your service. Good work, Kordanor. Callan makes a page for you in her clipboard and adds a few flattering notes. Mhm. Magical Missile. Und plus 15% Healing. Das ist nicht schlecht. Also 2 Effekte drauf. Müssen wir wieder ein bisschen Platz machen. Ja, die sind, glaube ich, für nichts gut. Dann verkaufen wir die auch. Ach, da kann man auch mit interagieren. In memory of Telera of the Qua, first keeper of Avadon. Kordanor, she died for you. Was? You read it again. There it is. Your name appears on the carved, to be carved into the stone. What an ostentatious bit of magic. Exactly the sort of thing you expected to find in Avadon. Okay. Ja, da können wir gerade nicht raus. Visiting warrior. This is one of the countless flow of merchants, soldiers, envoys and diplomats coming in and out of the Black Fortress. You exchange a friendly greeting, but that is all. You are a hand of Avadon, and even now you are still a scary individual with great power. The visitors are too nervous to spend time chatting with you. Ja, das ist die Dining Hall, wo die ganzen normalen Hands normal sind. Kitchen Worker. The kitchens of Avadon are fighting a constant struggle to keep the hungry warriors and merchants of Avadon properly fed. It's a desperate fight, but they are standing their ground. They don't have time to talk. Attempts to interact with them are greeted with short, stressful outbursts. One of them, walking by, stuffs a roll into your hand. Here, a meal. Nom 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 nom. Warrior. Warrior, da geht's runter. We need more meal. Da haben wir 34 Säcke von. Müsst ihr nur fragen. Okay, haben wir alle keinen Namen. Was ist hier? Haben wir da einen, mit dem wir reden können? Warrior, Warrior, Warrior. Envoy Dirren. It takes a moment to recognize the pact official who approaches you. Her jewelry, her silent robes, her regal bearing, all of them are very different from her ragged state when she talked to you in the woods outside the Green Refuge. It is Envoy Dirren, a representative of Handa's council. She asked you to spy on Redbird for her. Now she wants to collect. I'm glad you made it here safely, Hand. I knew you would eventually. She waves at the hall around her and smiles. Glorious, isn't it? Avadon is restored, wealthy and powerful, able to patch the holes in his walls. All it took was a little cooperation. Can you spare a minute for me? How did you get here? A lot of walking, horses, the occasional portal. I travel a lot. The Farlands will not be crushed by the lazy. I don't want to talk to you. I have information for you. I am glad. I'm sure you have many tales from your adventures. You've been busy. I understand. Right now, I only have one question. Ask then. Where is Redbird now? Redbird has been infected by the corruption. Last I heard, he was headed southeast, infected by the corruption. Dirren is taken aback. I didn't ask, but I'd appreciate the information. It verifies what we have already learned. I will remember this favor. Last I heard, I was headed southeast. Envoy Dirren nods. We knew that. Of course, Redbird made a lot of noise as he traveled. I just wanted to know if you are reliable. That you are. Thank you. The Pact still needs your help. That is why I wanted to speak with you. Ja, ich habe mich mehr oder weniger ja für entschieden, für diesen Protoss zu arbeiten, weil der Redbeard halt ein bisschen verrückt ist und nicht ganz fair. I'm not going to help you anymore. What sort of assistance do you want? You are one of the few trusted enough to travel with Redbeard. You can get us what we need. Deshalb habe ich mit Redbeard ja auch... Eigentlich wollte ich ihn töten lassen durch dieses Ding, aber der wurde nur corrupted. Naja. A lock of Redbird's hair. That is all. We just want a little bit of his garbage. Get it and give it to me when I contact you next. Can't I bring the hair to you here? I will be leaving Avadon soon. Even if I'm still here, I would rather you didn't. It is complicated. Just wait. Don't worry. I will find you. Give the item to me personally, nobody else. Why do you want it? We will work a few spells. Right now, Redbeard can be tolerated. He is doing some good. However, if he becomes a real danger, we need a way to zap his power. How can I get it? Steal it. He doesn't sleep. He has quarters. He owns combs. It's not particularly difficult. I will help you. I am pleased. I will find a way to contact you in a secret later. By the way, Redbeard has a nasty tendency to eliminate his more influential servants. If you become a target, our aid might be the only thing that keeps you alive. What is your position here? I am an envoy. Handa's council sent me here. I keep an eye on Avadon, guide it, make sure it serves the needs of the Pact and helps us to end the Age of Chaos. I've become very important. She shrugs and sips her tea. I didn't expect it. I didn't even want it. Yet here I am. You believe her. What do you think of Protoss? He is a loyal servant of the Pact. Handa's council can trust him. He doesn't have a Redbeard's love of violence and tyranny. Protoss has to do what you say. I feel like I should be delicate, but yes, Avadon answers to the pact now. Avadon used its power poorly. It was cruel and corrupt. It has finally been brought under control. How is the war going? Very well, I'm surprised to say. For all this, his many flaws, Redbeard has managed to direct a few victories. Though you were, of course, the one who did the fighting. And what do you think of Redbeard's victories? I think that he hit and fought and gave his advice. Then you hands did the work. You did the fighting. Once Redbeard finally gives in and surrenders his power, we will remember those like you who fought bravely for the pact. As long as you help us, of course. I have another question. Enwickler sits at a table with you. She keeps you well supplied with hot tea. Isn't it nice to have a quiet moment in a safe place? I know we have disagreements, but we are on the same side. Let's not forget it. What sort of assistance do you want? As well as the Handings? Okay. I will help you. I'd like to talk politics. That is a good use of our time. You've been exposed to Redbeard so much, so you might have forgotten that he's not the only leader of the pact. There are others with power. Some of us aren't even right. I am helping to change Avadon. I helped to remove Redbeard and elevate Protoss. I helped to take away Avadon's independence. I helped to make you hands have to obey our laws. I am proud of it. What do you think of Avadon? It has the potential to be a mighty protector of the pact. Once it must answer to the law. For so many years, Avadon was utterly independent. It could do anything it wanted to help the pact. Even corrupt things, brutal things. It had to stop. The Black Fortress is too unpredictable. It is wrong for modern times. Why did you remove Blackbeard? Pick a reason. He's old, he's sick, he's violent, he's mad, He insisted on assassinating any member of Fenrir's council who he dislikes. That last one was a big one. I'm amazed we managed to evict him. When we were planning it, I expected to have my throat slit at any moment. How did you manage it? A raid. Redbeard grew old and distracted. He paid attention to nothing but hunting dealers. As a result, we were able to bring 100 soldiers into Avadon very quickly. We used the gates, the portals, and great care. When we gave Redbeard the news, we had 100 blades backing us. He knew he had lost. Why shouldn't Avadon be independent? Think about your dealings with Avadon. Think of what your fellow hands have been through. Haven't you seen how cruel and corrupt Avadon can be? Has been? You are brave and loyal, but you have to obey the law. Same as me. Same as us all. You should not have total power. I like having this power. Who wouldn't? I like having this power. It helps me serve the pact. People can't be trusted with this sort of power. People can't be trusted with this sort of power. Of course not. I just hope you see why. Avadon ruled by terror. I'm tired of living in fear. We all are. I have another question. I'll be going now. Alright, we will meet again. I guarantee it. West and Advanced, the Envoy. Okay, da sollen wir jetzt also einen Kamm oder so finden. Das sind alles No-Names. Da geht's runter. Exit located. You are at the base of the Keeper's Tower, the largest tower in Avadon. This is where Protoss, and Redbeard before that, live and meet with supplicants. Guards watch you intensely as you approach. You might have a reason to go up there, but you aren't sure yet. You still haven't gotten what you need on this floor. Können wir dann überhaupt da hoch? Ja. Exit located. Okay. Are you comfortable? Pulus. There's a steward wandering among the offices and quarters of the Hands and Hearts. He is an aging man, crisply dressed, the very picture of dignity. He gives you a little bow. I welcome you, young hand. I am Pulus. I will serve you when you desire, tend to your needs, deliver messages, whatever it takes to ease your mind. You have heard of Pulus, of course, the legendary servant of Avadon. Hands and eyes avoid luxury and showing off, but this man does his best to make sure you're comfortable when you are in the safety of the Black Fortress. How are things going in Avadon? Very well, Hand. The first years of the Age of Chaos were very lean. Now we have food supplies, even new towels. We have many more hands and eyes, and I was even given assistance to help me. Did you need assistance? Need? I suppose I did need help if I was to maintain the standards I set for your care. How's the war going? I have never had any doubt that our side would prevail. The only question was how long would pass before you made the Fallen submit. If rumors are to be believed, you have brought our victory much closer. I am grateful. Polos, is that a Taven name? I am sad to say that I was born in the land of our enemies. I was taken to the Pact when I was young, and I have never regretted it. All the Hands trust you? Of course, Redbeard trusted me, so did Protoss. Everyone knows that I am totally loyal to the Pact. I would be a fool not to. Life is so much better here than in the Farlands. Another question? I'd like to know... Apollo stands unobtrusively off to the side. He seems calm and non-threatening, and yet he is ready to spring into action the moment you need something. I'd like to know more about events in Avadon. Polos is concerned. I'm sorry, what do you mean? I mean the conflict between Redbeard and Protoss. Polos is now very nervous. Kordanor, I am not a hand. I serve the Black Fortress, but I am a civilian. Even if I had an opinion, it would not be my place to say it. Perhaps we can discuss what I can do for you. How can you help me? I can provide food, clean lines, a light, deliver your messages, whatever your day-to-day needs require. I'm hungry! Polos leaves for a minute. He soon returns with a mug of ale and some fresh bread. Will you need anything else? I need some clean linens. Polos leaves a minute. He soon returns with immaculately clean blanket, pillow and towel. Will you need anything else? I need light for my chambers. Polos leaves for a minute. He soon returns with a candle. Will you need anything else? Any messages for me? I'm afraid not, though this is hardly surprising. I suspect that few people know you are here. Don't need anything else. Alright, I will be here if you need me. Jetzt liegt der Scheiß auf dem Boden, weil ich keinen Platz mehr hatte. Nom 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 nom. Ja, weg damit. Achso, und das hier können wir auch weghauen. Ja. Was war das, ein Bedroom? North Guest Bedroom. South Guest Bedroom. Charmed Ogre Statue. Wir brauchen. Tower of Trials. Oh ja, da erinnere ich mich auch noch dran. Da haben wir jedenfalls eine ganze Menge, wo wir danach noch hingehen können. Oh, da braucht man 3 Lockpicks, um da weiterzukommen. Wir müssen noch mal schauen. Wir sind ja jetzt hier beim Schmied. Ob ich da Lockpicks kaufen kann. Sieht nicht danach aus. Okay. To do. Avadon. South Guest Quarters 3 Lockpick. Ich meine, 3 habe ich zwar im Moment noch, aber ich nehme mal an, dass da mehrere Türen sind, die 1 brauchen. Da liegt eine Harfe. Auch mitnehmen. Center Tower Access. Uff. Handkäde. Den gab es vorher auch schon. The Master of Avadon's training hall is an old Holklandian woman. She uses a cane to circle slowly around the hall. The cane also serves to deliver painful punishment to anyone slacking off or showing poor form. Avadon has recruited a lot of new hands recently, and they all have to pass through here. Then they learn to fight the Avadon way. For a moment, you envy them. You had to figure things out in the wilderness, with trial, error, and constant risk of your life. She eventually breaks free and spares a minute for you. I can tell you are an experienced hand, but I've never met you. Interesting. I am Hand Kede, she says. And this is my domain. I am here to teach the younger hands to help them survive all that are hunting us. How long have you been a trainer here? Years, generations. It feels like... generations it feels like. Long enough to see my students retire from the field to more peaceful service. Long enough to see many of them die. She pats one of her legs. It is twisted and weak, the product of an old and vicious wound. This is the hurt that brought me back to Avadon for good. Now I can train you in the hope that you can avoid the same fate. How was your leg hurt? I was distracted for 2 seconds. It doesn't matter who hit me or with what. All that matters is that, for just a moment, my will failed. Do you have any advice for me? No, I have knowledge. I can tell you are basically competent. What? I can tell you are I can tell you are basically competent. So macht das Sinn. Come here and I can give you the wisdom you need to stay alive. That's another question. And Kade circles the training hall. You can see that she uses a cane because of her leg has been injured. Her tie has a painful looking dent in it. She nods at you. Kordanor, you suffered without my attentions for a long time. Do you wish to learn? Do you miss being out in the field? To your surprise, she has to think about it. No, not anymore. When we grow old and weak, we became a burden in a battle. It is then our duty to step aside and serve in other ways. It has been many years since I fought as a hand. What did you do back then? Whatever Redbeard said. He was a different leader then. Merciless, yes, but focused. Then he decayed. He was keeper too long, and Avadon paid for it. What do you think of the war? I think it will be won. Open arms within, stone wall beyond. The stone wall has been broken. We will push the Farlanders back, rebuild the wall, and take our revenge. No other ending is acceptable. What do you miss about going on missions? I am old enough to admit it. I miss the power. I miss my words being the law. We pretend we don't love it, but we do. Yet, Protoss has given up that power. We serve Anvar's council now. Hence must obey the law now, and I'm glad. You're glad to give up all of your power? Yes, it was too much power for flawed warriors like us. The people of the Qua are right. There should be one law, and all should obey it. Even Avadon. But you serve Redbeard. You still feel that you can do whatever you want as long as you think it serves the pact, yes? I don't know how much power I should have. It's complicated. Yes, it is a hard decision. I'm glad it was made for us. That is the blessing of being a hand. We follow orders. The only question is, whose orders? I have another question. How can you train me? And Keder reverently leads you to the training floor. Over the centuries, Avadon has collected the material secrets of all the peoples of Linnaeus. I have been trusted with them. I can train you. Each secret will cost you, however. I will require 1,500 coins to go toward the expenses of maintaining this mighty fortress. Aha. 1,500. Ja, gut. For my missiles to be more accurate. And Kate smiles. I can help you with that. Several hours of exhausting lessons take place. It is remarkably helpful. Finally dripping with sweat, you stumble away from the training floor. That is all I can teach you about this anyway. My missiles to be more powerful. Bla bla. My spells do more damage. Ich weiß nicht, ob das auch auf die Turrets bezieht. Finally dripping with sweat, stumble away from that is all I can teach you anyway. Yeah. Healing. Aha. Blessing and Curses. Ja, machen wir das andere halt auch noch. I don't need any training. And Kordanor's money is important and caution is admirable. Think about what you wish and return when you are ready. Alles gelernt. Und pleite. Aber Geld... Naja, jetzt haben wir das Geld tatsächlich mal nützlich ausgeben können. Das hat man ja auch selten in Spielen. Na, den Stab, den müssten wir auch weitergeben. Zur Not könnte ich den Junkbag noch weiter als Lager nutzen und dann die Sachen später wieder aus dem Junkbag rausziehen. So, da sollten wir eigentlich hin. You enter the library of Avadon. Like the rest of the fortress, it is full of workers desperately trying to keep up with the demands of the war. Searching this place for information on the warbond will take forever, unless you can find a librarian to help you. There are two catalogs listing the works kept in the main floor of the library. You flip through them a little. The range of works kept here is remarkable. You look for the works on the warbond, but you don't find anything. Okay, bevor wir mit dem reden, gucken wir uns hier erstmal so um. Aha. Report Miranda. Miranda, formerly known as Heart Miranda, is a former Heart of Avadon and advisor to Redbeard. She betrayed the Black Fortress and enabled raiders to gain entry, enabling the sack of Avadon. She fled the fortress during the attack. Miranda fled into the madness of the corruption, trying to work obscure magic and unleash the raw power of this wild land against the Pact. Instead, thanks to the old efforts of Hands of Avadon, her plans were disrupted and she was lost in the core of this cursed realm. Not long after Miranda was lost, the borders of the corruption began to spread, befouling a slowly increasing range of once healthy territory in the Wild Realm. Many eyes believe this expansion, beginning after Miranda came to the corruption, is not a coincidence. This is a private internal report for the Fortress of Avadon. Sharing its contents with outsiders will be savagely punished. Third Age. Once the Treaty of the Five Powers was signed in cycle 6237, ending the Black Age and decades of civil war, the Pact powers returned to their favorite activity, crushing the Farlands. Within a few years, the barbarians and outsiders had been beaten back. This was the beginning of the Third Age, a new time of peace and prosperity. This time the Pact had Avadon to watch over it. Talera, the first master of Avadon, was impartial, cunning and ruthless. None who would disrupt the Pact escaped her wrath. But of course, a war of the size and scale of the Black Age invariably left a variety of grudges, unpunished crimes, and blood debts. Many resented the Pact for denying them the lost lands or bloody revenge they felt was their due. But these aggrieved parties soon learned to stay quiet or attract the gaze of Avadon. The current year is cycle 6318. All who fought in the Black Age are gone. For decades, the old days of prosperity and security returned. It was even hoped that many of the old grudges were forgotten. Avadon made sure the Pact State are united or else. Then came the sack of Avadon in 6312. With that, the dark times returned. It was the dawning of the Age of Chaos in which you are trapped. Was? Inferno Bolts. Ja, damit ist das Inventar wieder voll. Diamond ist wahrscheinlich auch für nichts gut. Bar of Iron. Okay, dann reden wir mal hier mit... Ich glaube, der hier ist ein No-Name, ja. Tasmin, aber das waren noch zwei, die herumgelaufen sind, oder war das nur der Tasmin? Die Tasmin, was auch immer. Erhard. A roped eye carefully reshelves books and scrolls from a small basket. The rope obscures everything except the fact that this person is tall. When you clear your throat, the eye turns to you. You see an old, pale man with a shaved head. He bows respectfully. I am Erhard. I serve the Keeper of Avadon. What do you require, hand? How do you serve here? I manage all the information going in and out the library. Currently, I'm preparing a report on the Bereza Woods, a conflict between Holklander and Clemendriel. A long, complex struggle. I heard you're traveling with Redbeard. Yes, I obey his commands. He watches your reaction. That is wise for a hand to do. Redbeard still commands many. He will continue to play a role in defending the Pact so long as he lives. What do you think of Redbeard's leadership? I don't have an opinion. I serve Redbeard because he gave me no choice. He is an unstable tyrant. Nehmen wir das zweite. He eyes you carefully. I see. Keep in mind you still serve the Pact. That is what is most important. There's something I need to know. I'm sorry, Hand. I'm very busy. Please excuse me. He walks off. Na gut. Dann reden wir mal mit der da. Like everywhere else in Avadon, the library is bustling with activity. The armies of the Pact are constantly sending back papers, stolen intelligence, weird magical tomes, and other works of potential value. Then they all end up here. The head librarian gives her orders quietly and calmly, but the tension in her voice is clear, as is the implied threat if she is disobeyed. After dressing down a young eye who drops a bunch of dusty books by a lit brazier, she turns to you. You are Kordanor. Protos sent me a message. I am Tamsin, head librarian of Avadon and leader of the Eyes. I am to assist you within reason. Please quickly tell me what you need, quickly and quietly. You are the leader of the Eyes? She shrugs. Not really, I suppose. I was imprecise in my language. The Eyes have no leaders by acting keeper Protoss. However, the Eyes have chosen me to speak for us when minor issues arise. It is a small job, but a great honor. There are many Eyes now, and we need organization. What do the Eyes do? We are the eyes and brain of Avadon. We gather information and then we process it. We boil it down to the purest, most precious bits of knowledge, and we give those to the hands. You noted that the eyes do the interrogations in the basement. They are more than just genteel librarians. Vielleicht Doppel-E falsch? Naja. Why are there so many eyes? Once Protoss took over for Redbeard, Avadon was allowed to conscript many more hands and eyes. The hands went out on mission and got killed. The eyes stayed back in our fortresses and stayed safe. Happily, when there is an imbalance like that, Avadon has a method for evening it out. What happens when there is a large surplus of eyes? We select the least productive eyes and send them on missions with their hands. Into battle, I mean. The numbers even up pretty quickly after that. I have another question. You follow Ai Tamsin as she circles the library, giving orders and dispensing reprimands. No matter how angry and vicious she gets, her voice never raises about a whisper. It's impressive. Tell me about the Avadon library. She looks around with undisguised pride. Under Protoss, the Black Fortress once again has the finest library in Linnaeus. History, military reports, magical tomes. We are unmatched. Yet, with our new resources, I am not going to be content. I have the ability to pay well for information about new libraries I can ransack. What sort of works do you collect here? Anything valuable, science or magic, history or philosophy. If a work has the potential to make the pact stronger or wiser, I want a copy of it, or two. You look for more libraries? Of course, there is a precious or powerful work. If there is a precious or powerful work, it should be here, not in the tavern. Here. That is why I pay bounties. If you find a library of quality, tell me where it is and what you find in it. If the information is new, I will make the payment worth the trip. What exactly should I look for? H. Secrecy. Books of magic, arcane scrolls, glowing paper, demons, anything that makes the library seem unusual or valuable. I have another question. I need to see your recent reports on movements of the Warborn. Oh, this request concerns Tamsin. I suppose it is. Protoss told me to help you, even to share secrets, but I'm sorry, the latest intelligence from there is months old. I thought it was too old, so it was put into the tower. It can be dangerous to go up there. Every time I send a hand up, there is a problem. She has a librarian unlock the doors to the northwest. You can climb up, but take care. Why is the tower so dangerous? The tower is where we store older books and reports. Some of those works are enchanted. The magic up there can have unpredictable results. I am trying to have safety mechanisms put in, but that will be a job for peacetime. You really don't have anything newer? No, what can I say? War is chaotic, and the news reports haven't found their way to us yet. You're not sure you believe her, but even if she's lying, you aren't going to be able to force the truth out of her. You've sent hands up there before? I need to send someone up there from time to time when the wild magic gets too wild and needs to be punched back into subservience. How can I find the notes? She isn't able to suppress a laugh. How do you find something in the library? Check the catalogs, how else? Another question? Okay, das war's. Library Bounty. Okay. Quest. Library Bounty. Okay. Ai Tamsin is the head librarian of Avadon. One of her jobs is to find well-stocked libraries in Linnaeus and absorb the best works for Avadon. When you find large libraries in your travels, report them to Tamsin. She will pay a nice bounty. Da können wir nicht durch, aber die Tür ist jetzt dann anscheinend offen. Tower. Okay. Gut, und da geht's auch noch weiter. Da haben wir noch den Norden weiter zu erkunden. You meet one of the guards of Avadon. Guards aren't hands. Hands are too precious to be kept standing around. Instead, Avadon guards are the finest soldiers of the pact pulled away by the Black Fortress. The soldiers don't fraternize with their eyes and hands. You exchange a few pleasantries, but that's all. The soldiers are, frankly, too scared of you to open up. Visitor. Hier hatte man vorher, glaube ich, den Schamanen treffen können. Zeug ist voll. Virak. A small tanned woman with a thick ponytail is making quick work of the weeds in a herb bed. This must be one of Avadon's gardeners. When you get close, she holds up a hand to stop you. Watch your step, hand. I just planted that. You look down to see you almost stepped on a small creeping plant. You step back and apologize, and she introduces herself. I'm Virak, head gardener. What do you need, hand? I don't mean to trample anything. She doesn't stop working in the dirt, but does grumble under her breath. You only make out the end of it. Typical, so many problems lately. What problems are you talking about? She points her hand shovel at the keeper's tower. It isn't decent. It isn't just. It isn't right. What isn't decent, just, or right? What do you think? Redbeard's removal by Humber's council, of course. A keeper is supposed to die on his feet during his duty, or at least be assassinated. Then she points to you. It's all going wrong. Do your job and fix it. How am I supposed to fix it? How should I know? Just get that bureaucrat out and the true keeper back. She points to you. You're the hand, figure it out. What do you think of the keeper Protoss? She holds up her grimsy right hand. The only time my hand has ever felt dirty is after I shook his. She is a typical politician. Fake smiles, saying what he thinks you want to hear as he tries to glad hand you, all while he undermines everything you hold dear. He didn't even have the decency to kill Redbeard. Instead, he cut some shady deal with the spiritual twins on Hanva's council. It isn't right, I tell you. It can be dangerous to speak like this. But I can be brave, can you? Can you? Excuse me. She moves to the other side of the herb bed and resumes her work. Okay. Visitor. Kann man nicht so benutzen. Das ist abgesperrt. Northern Portal, Callum Wiles. Da haben wir noch einen Garten. Gut, dann werde ich hierbei auch erstmal wieder einen Schnitt machen. Und dann werden wir beim nächsten Mal weitersehen. Und irgendwie muss ich da mit dem Inventar was, muss ich eventuell im Junkbag dann erstmal reinlegen, die Sachen. Gut, ja, schauen wir uns beim nächsten Mal näher an. Also, bis dann!